All right, on this episode of Bare Knuckle Bowker, very excited to be chatting with an individual competing at BKB 39. And we've got that bantamweight world title being contested and quite the interesting rematch going down June 1st at the O2 as Scott McHugh and Aaron McCallum step into the ring. And great getting to have Aaron on the show to chat a little bit about all that. How are you doing, man? You having a good day
I'm
so
doing
far?
good, mate. Yeah, doing good, doing good. Very excited. Can't wait.
Yeah, no, there's a lot going into it for sure. Like just with McHugh being the flyweight world champion and you being the British champion now and everything like that. Like when did this, idea kind of come your way, like this bout offer and everything? Because it seemed like something you were kind of putting out there into the world, like even a month or so ago, just talking about, defending your British title and then the goal being for a world title on the first. So like when did things really get in motion for this one?
It was literally, I fought on the Saturday of 30th of March. And then the Tuesday, straight after the Saturday, Jim rang me to see if I wanted the world title shot. I was literally enjoying a burger at the time as well. So like I just stopped and I was enjoying this burger and I was like, well, yeah, definitely. Who is it? And obviously he said Scott McHugh. So there's no way I was turning that down. So went straight back into fight mode and yeah, let my coach know, and the excitement started from there. So yeah, we're literally straight after.
Yeah, and I'm sure that would be firing up a couple competitive aspects and all, just with that being your last defeat in bare knuckle at BKB 32 around, I guess, really this exact day as we're talking last year, from what I'm noticing on
Yeah,
May the
exactly. Yeah,
21st
yeah.
last year. So, yeah, just a lot going on for sure. Obviously, the world title, very important, but is evening up the series just even as like a I guess like way to interface like the growth and everything. Like, do you look at it from that perspective? It wouldn't seem like a bad blood minded kind of thing at all. But
No,
I mean, yeah,
yeah, no, it's never bad blood, unless one of the fighters ever put it on me with the mouth and stuff like that, and give me some bad words. Then yeah, it'll turn to bad blood. Like, but I'm not that type of person. I've been that guy out of the boxing and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's not me. You waste too much energy. And I'm just not an angry person in that sense anymore. But I say the first person that does start talking to me like I will give it back. I'm not one to back down from that. Do you know what I mean? I just really don't see the point in it. Me and Scott, we was talking. We become good friends after our first fight, so I'm not gonna go out there slating him and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? As horrible as it sounds, for me, this is still a revenge fight as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's as bad blood as it gets for me. I will be going in there more for the revenge fight, but that don't mean any bad blood between us at all. It's just, yeah, you got me once, and lightning don't strike in the same place twice. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the belt is a bonus in this fight. But yeah, it's all about the revenge. And he was the same with Lafferty as well. Do you know what I mean? So he's been in these shoes before, so he knows what type of fight I'll be coming in for. He's been there, like, so yeah.
yeah, and I mean a lot going on for sure. Like I actually just even noticed the alignment with the date this year versus the McHugh fight from last year. Like just with it being a full year from the time we spoke ahead of that McHugh fight to now, like what would you say some of the biggest differences are in your game as a bare knuckle fighter and just differences overall?
Yeah, my boxing for a start. I mean, I don't fight at all like I did against him in the first bout we had. Um, and with the sounds of it, he's not the same fighter as well. Well, I've seen his fight with Lafferty. He didn't really change much from how he did fight me. That's just my view on that fight. But yeah, I've changed so much. I mean, my coach who I've got now, and the guys who I'm with, the gym I'm at, just the pro boxers who I've been sparring and stuff like that. I've changed the whole ball game of coming into these fights, which you've seen against Corey Ely. I didn't scrap at all. I actually boxed him, um, and I boxed him quite well. Do you know what I mean? And I still want 100% at that, at my boxing ability. Um, and I've just adjusted very fast to each like camp I've had. Even after Corey's fight, I know it's still only been what was it, 8 weeks or something like 9 weeks. Um, I've still changed massively in this camp boxing wise. Like I honestly surprise myself sometimes, especially when I'm sparring these pro boxers and I'm actually doing okay against them all. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of decent boxing in this fight because he's at a pro boxing gym as well. So I can see a good fight coming on there. But having said that, he's going to have to come to me as well to win the belt this time, and I'm going to have to go to him a lot more to win the belt. So there'll be a bit of a tear up. That bit I'm more excited about, obviously, because I know I can fight like that regardless. So yeah, both styles of boxing and getting in on it. Just looking forward to them both. Like see what happens.
Yeah, and I mean that Corey Healy example kind of illustrates what you were talking about a bit ago too. Like I saw you had a post about like I guess like maybe a bit over a week ago now where you were talking about how you guys kind of had the fight and everything and then it just seemed like you were really giving him his due and then he commented and he's like, "Oh, no sport in the world quite like this," and just talking how you guys have like that friendship and stuff like that. So a cool thing to see in the sport.
Yeah, yeah, you've got to be. You know what I mean? It's a proper man sport. This is. You know what I mean? Don't get any more real than what we're doing. So once you've both been in that ring together, what's the point in being bad with each other? Just you know what I mean? You shake hands and you go on to your next fight. I mean, Corey's a brilliant lad. He is. His mum and dad they come straight up to me after the fight, give me an hug and congratulated me. You don't get that. Do you know what I mean? That to me would just that made the fight what it was. It was just brilliant. Yeah, so it just it's pointless having that bad blood. You know what I mean? You're going in there, bare knuckle, you have your fight, and you go and have a drink after it. It's amazing, and it's most probably the best thing I love about this sport.
Yeah, no, well said, man. And something else I was kind of noticing in like the feature that I'd written up ahead of the first Scott McHugh fight for Bare Knuckle News, like you were kind of talking about entering into the first fight almost with that mentality of like, oh yeah, like the underdog getting a title shot. But things have changed now in as far as like you captured and also subsequently defended the British title. So has the mindset kind of changed in that regard almost, or is there still a certain underdog mentality being that you're
Um,
trying to, I guess, tie up the series, I guess?
yeah, I suppose there still is a bit of underdog. I mean, Scott's on so many wins now, isn't it? I know I'm on two, but I think he's on 5, 6, might even be more wins. And on paper, he's done a lot more. Um, so I should imagine I'm still down as the underdog, which I enjoy that. Do you know what I mean? But having said that, myself, I feel more confident going into this fight than I ever have in any other fight. And basically, I've fought him once. You know what I mean? I sort of know how he fights. Um, yeah, it still could have changed with being at this new gym, which I should imagine he has. But I know I have. I know he's not fighting that same fighter he fought last year. I'm a completely different fighter. So yeah, the underdog. I mean, I love it. That gives me the buzz. Do you know what I mean? It's more of a drive when the underdog's always a more hungrier in my eyes. Do you know what I mean?
And is that Shinfields Gym you're talking about, like the newer space you've been in?
Yeah, I've been at Shinfields Gym. They're a pro boxing gym. Got some amazing lads in there. Obviously the gym I'm training at, so I train at Bilbao ABC. They're a lot of amateurs, so they're just fast. Do you know what I mean? But they ain't just your average amateur boxers. The top quality amateur boxers. And the speed on them, it's them that's got me the fitness and making sure I'm moving and not getting caught because yeah, if you don't move with them, like you're getting hurt. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't say well, not even hurt. You're just getting pounded every single round. So yeah, both gyms have just helped a lot. Try and get up to Shinfields as much as I can possible and spar there, lads, because it's a lot more. It's a lot more. What's the word? As if you're in a fight technical wise. Do you know what I mean? I mean, pro boxers, then they know how to punch you, move and punch you from all different angles. Do you know what I mean? So it's good to be with them. Yeah, and everything about it. So they've just changed me so much. And my coach, I mean, my coaches, should I say, they've not let me breathe. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, I know I'm a British champion now, but I've not took one step off the gas whatsoever, and they've not let me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's been constant, constant. I'm bettering myself every day, and it's proper mind boggling. Like, you come out of there exhausted. Do you know what I mean? You know you've been in training. Like, it's just for the simple fact, when you're sparring, having 8 seconds rest in between rounds and stuff like that. It's nuts. So yeah, then that, and then still being able to go on doing 12 rounds boxing, fighting. Do you know what I mean? Not a slow pace at all. And I'm not just saying that just for the camera as well. It's literally like that. So they're always keeping me up, keeping me just pumping and pumping. Yeah, it's crazy. I look forward to getting home and sitting on my sofa, put it that way.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely always have struck me as a guy that really puts in that consistent work and reflects in the pace for sure. And I mean, I saw this a bit ago, to be fair. I guess it was probably like a few months ago at this point, but I would think, getting in work with someone like BKB British featherweight champion Martin Reffell would really also benefit your game and everything too.
Yeah. Well, to me, I mean, I'm a tough lad myself, and I've always been that guy. Like, I've never met anyone as tough as me. You know what I mean? That mentality. But let me tell you, Martin is most one of the toughest lads I've ever met in my life. You know what I mean? He's brilliant to spar with and stuff like that. He don't you when you see it, the way you see him fight, he spars exactly the same. Like, he puts it on you constantly, like, and he can go for round after round after round. The tank on him is unbelievable. So yeah, he's a perfect sparring partner, but you also don't like him sparring as well because he just don't stop.
Yeah, for sure, man. And there's always been such a great talent pool with BKB. It's a circuit I've always really enjoyed following. But I guess I'm just curious to get your thoughts on the general kind of state of the whole company and all, because just with the recent news of BYB acquiring
Yeah.
BKB, I would think that would be exciting for you just in terms of like it creates such like a deep pool of talent. Like there already was that deep pool of talent with BKB, but now we essentially have like two companies kind of amalgamated together. So probably it's very helpful to the fighters in a certain sense as well, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's it, innit? I mean, we've doubled in size now of just fighters. Um, and when you watch them Americans, there ain't really one bad American fighter as their job. They all come to fight. So with it's just stepped up that extra level in every single weight category. Um, I don't think anybody is a number now. They've got to fight the art out to be getting to the top. Do you know what I mean? Like, every fight, I should imagine you see, which you do anyway, but from now on, every fight's going to be like a Martin Reffell and Rolando fight. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it's going to be. That's how I'm imagining it. I'm really excited for it. I mean, I've been on Jim's case for a while now, trying to get a fight in America. We're just in that trigon. So now that's all changed. I'm buzzing about it. I cannot wait to get in that trigon. There's literally no running in there, is there? Do you know what I mean? It's pure. That's just pure violence in there. It's crazy.
I was gonna say, like, I don't say this in a way to overlook this fight because it's so huge and exciting in many different regards, but I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't at least kind of have like an offshoot kind of thought just with BYB kind of having that, different rule set, just even in as far with like the clinch fighting. Like if you were to kind of get that, stateside fight and be in the BYB Mighty Trigon, like how much, if at all, would you kind of adapt the preparations just because BKB has more of that like at range kind of approach without the, I guess, active clinch kind of component, I guess.
Yeah, that's the only thing I thought. Like, it sort of got to me because I've just started to box quite good and stuff like that. And I thought, now we're going into this trigon, it's all back to how I first started, really. But then when you do watch it properly, there's still the boxing in there. Do you know what I mean? That the boxing can get you out of trouble a lot faster than just grabbing them and punching each other's face in. Do you know what I mean? But on that other hand, I'm strong for my weight. I'm very strong, which it'll be shown in the future, obviously. But yeah, I believe I'm quite strong in in the clinch. I mean, obviously I've got to work on it. It's not something that you can just adapt to. You've still got to train for that kind of fight style. It don't matter how strong you are or anything. It's still a way to fight, and you've got to be fit doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to be fit for twice as many of them rounds of just a clinch and punching, because that can take it out of you. I mean, just when you're in a fight, just moving them along, pushing them along a bit, that can take a lot of breath away from you. So having to hold them with all that strength and punching at the same time, your fitness has got to go up that extra level. So yeah, just when I think I was fit for doing 7 rounds, they put this on us, and now you've got to get fit for 3-minute rounds and 7 rounds of that. Do you know what I mean? Everything's challenging in this sport. It's going crazy.
I was gonna say maybe that, past being the champion bodybuilder can kind of come into it. Like maybe like a different way of distributing the strength, but I feel like sometimes just, maybe people forget about that in a certain sense just because you've gone on such a run in BKB and have quite a few bare knuckle fights under your belt now. But yeah, I imagine you wouldn't be like negligibly strong in those clinch positions if you did get that future BYB fight and all.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that does play a big part in it. Do you know what I mean? The bodybuilding, it's helped me with my power. Do you know what I mean? My punch power. I take that all from my bodybuilding. The weights I used to lift was ridiculous. Now I definitely wouldn't have this power what I've got if it wasn't for that. And the same with them weights. It's gonna give me a lot of strength of holding someone. You're gonna have to fight to get out of my hands. Do you know what I mean? Now as well as fight at the same time. So yeah, it plays a massive part, definitely. And I think a lot more fighters, a lot of the good boxers, they'll sort of change the way they train. You know what I mean? They've got to get strong now, um, in the clinching. So yeah, I think quite a few people will be lifting a bit more heavier weights. Just it depends what weights you're doing. There's still a technique to which weight compound you're doing to get that strength. Do you know what I mean? You can't just be going bench pressing, trying to bench press bloody 200 key and expect that's going to give you a lot of strength in the clinch. That they don't work like that. But I mean, yes, I think the bodybuilding is definitely going to have an effect on it while holding someone. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. It's been cool to follow your journey because you seem very individually driven and just motivated in a few different ways. But it seems like part of that motivation is also derived from, being a good role model for the youth and stuff like that. I feel like whenever I see stuff of yours on social media, there just really is a lot of that kind of component. Like I saw you had a post shouting out Angel Holland, like her title fight that didn't necessarily work out, but like praised the performance. And then another thing that I saw that I thought was also really cool was you were saying like a mate of yours kid had like a project to do where he was talking about like someone he looks up to, like a hero of his, and he'd done a presentation on you. So just cool to see that side of it too, man.
Yeah, I'm actually going to see him tomorrow with my British title belt, Liam Ayres' son. Yeah, Joseph. And you know what? That's the most rewarding thing there is about it. Like, when kids are seeing what you're doing, and are calling you their hero and stuff like that. I mean, come on, it don't get much better than that, does it? Do you know what I mean? You forget about everything else, and you just buzz off it. Yeah, like, and it's nice if when I'm talking to them, you can see how much they look up to me as well. Like, it's not just something. It's it's not just something they're putting out there one day. Like, it's literally when they see me, the face light up. Do you know what I mean? And I like mine lights up as well. I like seeing them. It's just, I know, because I'm not thinking like, yeah, I'm their hero. It's a buzz. I mean, you can see now in my face. I do proper enjoy it. That's got to be the most rewarding thing about doing this BKB, and just being as good as I am at the minute. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, and I saw you shouted out your, I mean, I guess this was like a bit ago at this point, but your lad there turning 15. I saw you were joking around about one more year and you guys are gonna be in the back garden. So that's kind of fun too, I guess.
Yeah, I still tell him that now. I mean, we mentioned it the other day, actually. I still tell him one more year. If he gets a bit rude, I just look at him and say, one more year, mate. I'll buy him a good pair of boxing gloves for his birthday. Just straight on the garden.
Has he been
I
doing
might
any
let
of
him.
that? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So I said I might let him win.
I was just gonna ask if he's been kind of doing any of that. Like, are we gonna be like seeing some more McCallum in ring action? Like, has he been getting in some boxing work or indicating any interest, or is
He
he kind
is,
of doing
yeah.
his own thing?
My lad is doing a bit of boxing. Yeah, he does do a bit. I try and get him in there with my coach as much as possible. But yeah, it'd be nice to see one of the lads getting in there in a few years to come. Do you know what I mean? But he does. I mean, Brady, my lad, he loves the boxing. It's just getting it. When I'm in camp, I think everybody's the same. You come a bit selfish. It's got to be all about you. So I do still try and get into the boxing gym as much as possible. Sometimes he might have to go before me and now before me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, once my camps are done, he does get to go to the boxing gym a lot more. We've got a bit more time for him, but he understands that. He's not in no rush to do anything yet. I mean, he's quite of a clever lad, so school come first. You know what I mean? All his exams and stuff like that. But he does love the boxing. I'm not going to lie, and he's for one of my biggest fans. He's always there with me. They'll be walking me out as well, both of them on this fight. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait.
Oh, that's cool. That's kind of what I was thinking to, I guess, follow up with. That's sweet that he's actually going to be involved in the walkout. That must be exciting for both of you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, they've asked me before if they can walk out, and I've just always sort of said, I'm not ready yet. Do you know what I mean? Not ready for you to come out. The world title, I'm definitely ready for them to walk out. And like I say, I'm ready for them to walk. Sometimes I don't believe some kids walking out with the fighters. I don't know. It's just like when they've walked out against me, when the kids have walked out and I know I'm fighting them, and I sort of know in my head that I'm going to be knocking this opponent out, I I sort of don't agree with it on that sense. You know what I mean? Because I mean, with Mark Tiffin, I just knew I was going to knock him out, and he brought his kids out with him, and I was like, oh, what's he brought them out for? Do you know what I mean? Because I think every fighter they know sort of they know in their head what they're going to do. Do you know what I mean? Um, so yeah, when I see Mark Tiffin walking out with his kids, I just thought, I'm going to knock him out in front of his kids. Do you know what I mean? And it's not a nice feeling for yourself. So yeah, but I'm ready. I'm ready myself to let my kids walk out with me. I mean, touch wood. I've definitely been tough enough in my previous 9 fights to not hit the deck. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's a calling. They're supposed to walk out with me on this fight, definitely.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's so interesting, man. I guess like something that I was also kind of thinking about in terms of what might be different from the first McHugh fight to now, because like obviously you were touting his high level of experience, like some of the guys he's fought throughout BKB and also champions in BYB as well. But I remember specifically one of the things you had mentioned was his level of fitness in relation to like what yours was, I guess maybe at the time. Like it seems like you've maybe shored up that gap a fair bit. Like, does that impart a certain level of confidence heading into the fight as far as like maybe something different heading into the rematch compared to the first go around?
Yeah, well, I had to. Do you know what I mean? I know, like I said, I know Scott's tank on him is up there with the best. And like he'll put a lot of videos on. I mean, I've been a bit quiet this time. I've not put no boxing videos on. I put a bit of fitness on, but he'll put a lot on, which to me, without sounding too dickhead about it, like when he puts a video on, I'll do twice as much as that. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I fight, drive off it. So I know if whatever he puts on, I'll go do twice as much as that. I know I'm coming out fitter than you. And after our first fight, he did message me. He says I was surprised how fit you was, and I literally told him, I said, well, everything you put on, I went and did twice and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I just made sure I beat you in your fitness of what you was doing. So I mean, someone spoke to me the other day, and I says to them, if he does remember that, he'll be putting videos on. And if I was him, I'd make out I was doing more, so I was doing more to tie me out, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
yeah, you've got to get fit with Scott. You know what I mean? He's a he's a decent technical boxer. So you've got to get fit enough to go the rounds with him. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't go in there expecting to knock him out. Not all. I mean, you can't with any fighter. I've come to realise that. Scott taught me that. Do you know what I mean? I took a lot from the fight with Scott. You've just got the best thing to do in this game is just get fit and get round fit. Do you know what I mean? As many round fit as you can, and go in there and go to win on points. And when the knockout, if the knockout comes, it comes, and that's how you got to be. So I'm I'm 100% fit enough to go all out. I know I am for 7 rounds. I've been in that many dark places in training. Um, when you get into a fight, it becomes not easier, but the best way to explain it is a lot easier than what you are when you're training. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I've been to that dark place so many times. Um, I'm ready to go all out and go to that dark place as many times as I need to in the fight. So yeah, just your fitness alone, get as fit as you can, and I'll put that out to any fighter. Don't ever go in there thinking you're going to knock any fighter out, because we're all tough in this game. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a stupid thing to go into a bare knuckle fight thinking you're going to knock them out, because you're fighting the toughest lads you'll ever meet in your life. So you go out here to beat them on points and get good at that boxing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a cool thing about bare knuckle that I've really noticed over the years as well. Just like that growth of the fight IQ and everything in real time. Like it's not just like oh, I'm gonna storm out there and knock the guy out. And I think your track record kind of speaks to that. Like you do obviously have impressive stoppage wins, but you have shown that, sustained gas tank over the distance. So yeah, I get what you're saying, man.
Yeah, yeah. You've got to, mate. You've got to really make. You know what I mean? Fitness is key. Fitness wins fights, definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah, well, I'm super excited for this rematch, man, and just what a great fight to have for this championship and everything like that. But also do want to be mindful of your time and the rest of your schedule too, Aaron. So I'm curious if maybe you have like a final parting thought you'd like to add as we're wrapping up, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for having me, Dylan. Honestly, mate, it's nice speaking to you as always. But yeah, I want to thank everybody that's bought a ticket. I know it's been straight after my last fight, so I know it's harder for people to come, but I've still sold a load of tickets, which I'm more than appreciated for. I want to thank all my sponsors. I'm trying to shout some out: Nature's Nourishments, Team Freaks Online Coaching, Udwise, Vizubo. If you follow me on Instagram, please check them out. King Couriers. I've got that many. It's hard to shout all my sponsors out, but I do walk around with all the stuff on all the time. Try and keep them out there. But yeah, just I can't thank people enough for backing me through every fight. So just would like to thank all my supporters and stuff like that. Yeah, and just get ready for a Nottingham win world title. I'm telling you, because I know it's coming back. I just really do.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great one at the O2 on June 1st there and everything. And just yeah, kind of an interesting transitional time with it technically in a way being that last BKB event with BKB 39. And yeah, what a last kind of send off in a sense, having this rematch and a big world title on the line, man. So again, just really wanted to thank you for making the time ahead of the fight and just looking forward to, checking it out when it goes down, man. But until then, you have a good rest of your day, Aaron. And yeah, thanks so much, man.
Nice one, Dylan. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you, pal.